Good evening, students. Today is Friday, biology class day. We are doing the chapter cell, if you remember, and we would move on to the part 2 of the cell, that is diversity of in cell size, numbers, and shapes. Okay, so without delay, let's do it and complete your work by 9:30, 10, and send it to me. So, students, we started chapter 3 of our textbook, Ratna Sagar Biology text, the cell of plants and animals. Alright, we are still with the introduction of the cell, and today we would move on to the diversity. Let's do a small recap what we did the previous day. We have done the cells. They are called the building blocks, and why they are called the building blocks of the body. And then we have done the definition of the cell. Then I told you about it is why do we call it as a functional unit. We call it a structural unit because it is the building block of our body. And why do we call it as functional unit? Because it is capable of doing all the life processes individually alone. And then we have moved on to the various examples of life processes, and then I have shown you about the discovery of cell, how I told you the history of the discovery of cell, starting from the Leeuwenhoek's simple microscope, how it looked like, and then we moved on to the what all things simple microscope helped us in doing. Studying the blood cells from the feet of the frog, studying about the unicellular organisms found in water. Then we moved on to the Robert Hooke's compound microscope with two lenses, and we studied a little about Robert Hooke himself. And Robert Hooke was the person who coined the term cell. Before that, Leeuwenhoek did not call the cells as cell. And then you know what Robert Hooke studied under his compound microscope, the cork cells, the dead cells. And then I have shown you the present day's simple microscope and compound microscope, and ask you to submit the picture of an electron microscope with few questions which was there in your book. And then we have come across the various reasons why the cell is the basic unit of life. And then we came to know that the cells together form tissues and tissues form organs. So next we move on to today's topic, diversity in cell. Now you see, students, cells in different organisms differ in shape, size, and number. Not only in different organisms, students, the cell differ in shape, size, and number within a single multicellular organism also. Okay, so we will come to know about it slowly. Now, organisms are of two types. One, unicellular organism. Unicellular organism or single celled organism, like one bacteria. Here you can see a picture of a bacteria, and the cells can be multicellular, that is many celled organisms. Okay, many celled organisms. Example, what is the example of many-celled organism? We all are examples of many-celled or multiple-celled organisms, that is human beings. Okay, we call them as multiple-celled organism. Multiple-celled organisms. Okay. Now, even we have seen the cells of a plant. In plant also, the cells of different parts of plants are not same. For example, when we take the example of the leaves, the cells in the leaves would not be different, would not be same as the cells of a stem. It cannot be. How can it be? See, first and foremost thing, without any microscopic study and detailed study of cells of plants, we can say cells in the leaves have chlorophyll, which is absent in case of stem. Stem cells are hard and they are dry. To protect, the cells of stems should be capable of protection, and the cells of leaves should have the capability of photosynthesis. The leaf cells should be capable of photosynthesis, manufacturing of food. So even in plants, we can see the cells varies depending on their function. It varies depending on the functions they perform. Okay. Now you see a few cell types. Okay, we can see a few cell types in the picture. Few cell types that a human being consists of, right? So you see the human beings are made up of blood cells, which is red in color. Human beings are made up of skin cells. You see, skin, flat cells. Human beings have the bone cells. Bone cells. Human beings have reproductive cells. Like plants, they have various kinds of cells that depends on the function they perform. Like leaves have chlorophyll, chloroplast, and the stem would have the dry cells to protect them. Similarly, and human beings also made up of various cells. To name a few, these are just to name a few: skin cells, bone cells, reproductive cells, and blood cells. Okay, so these are the few things we can see. Now, first we move on to the shapes of the cell. Okay, first topic of the day is shapes of the cell. Now, it has been seen that mostly unicellular organisms do have constant shape. They do have a constant shape. They maintain a constant shape. Like, bacteria, lifelong, they would have a constant shape. See, here I have given a picture of bacteria. They will maintain this particular shape lifelong. A paramecium, a hydra, all these things. However, only one exceptional case. That's why I have given this picture so that you remember. Exceptional unicellular organisms. Exceptional unicellular organism is amoeba. In a lifetime, you see, amoeba takes various shapes. This is one shape. This is another shape. This is another shape. Same amoeba is taking different shapes, you see. This is another shape. This is another shape. Don't think that they are all various different amoebas. Same amoeba taking here total of 9 different shapes. So amoeba is the only unicellular organisms that can vary in their shapes. Otherwise, unicellular organisms like bacteria and all, they maintain the same constant shape lifelong. Okay, now we move on to various kinds of shapes the cells take. First, you see, the cells might be irregular in shape. For example, a cell of amoeba, how it looks, you see, like one octopus. It is looking as if octopus is floating in the water. So this is actually a microscopic unicellular organism, amoeba, which has got the irregular shape. And also the white blood cells, students. White blood cells, WBC, which is in short called WBC, white blood cells in our body, is also irregular in shape. Next, move on to the next type of shape, oval. Chlamydomonas or green algae. See, they are oval in shape. They are egg shaped. See the picture given here, green color. They are green algae known as Chlamydomonas. They are oval in shape. Next type, you see, this is a very interesting shape I have ever seen in unicellular organism. That is a slipper shaped. They are also known as slipper shaped because they resemble, their shape resembles our slippers. They are paramecium. They are actually oblong shape. Next, elongated cells. These cells, student, have the capability of elongation, like they can elongate and they can contract also. Okay, they can elongate, that is, they can stretch, and they can contract. They have the capability of contractibility. They are contractile, that is, they can contract, that is, they can grow longer, that is, elongate, and they can go shorter, that is, contract. That's why we can stretch our hand, we can stretch our legs. This is the reason, because muscle cells are elongated shape. They have the capability to become longer, elongate, and contract, become shorter. Next we have, this is one very interesting cell in our body, nerve cell. They just look like a thread. That's why their shape is considered to be thread shaped. Okay, so this cell of our nerves in the body are thread shaped. Now, apart from these basic uh, basic shapes like irregular, oval, oblong, elongated, thread-like. We also have some cells that are flat in shape. Yes. See, look at your hand. The skin runs flat like a covering, like a if you cover your body with a cloth. Similar way, the skin runs flat. That is why the cells of the skin runs flat. They are flat shaped. And the in plant cells, students, in plant cells, the shape of the cells can be round, can be rectangular, can be oval, and can be long and thin to carry water and food, water and minerals. Especially the stem cells are like that. So when you would read about the plant cells thoroughly, you will come to know which cell is of which shape. But remember right now, even like multicellular human beings, plant cells can come in various shapes like round, rectangular, oval, and long and thin like straw. Next we move on to our today's topic, size. A size of a cell is, in one word, it is microscopic. Except for eggs that you eat, hen's egg that you eat, that is one cell that you can see with naked eye. The rest all the cells are microscopic. And since they are so small in size, they are measured in a unit called micrometers. Micrometers. Other term of micrometer is micron, and it is written as mu, like a U, it is pronounced as mew, like a cat, meow, that mew. Once again, I'll write this. You write a U and then extend this leg of U. This is pronounced as mu. And it is seen that 1 mu is equal to, it is equal to 1 by 1000th time of a millimeter. So it is 1000 of millimeters, like whatever millimeter is divided by 1000, that is that small a cell is. It is in micrometers, written as mu or micron. Now it has been seen the average size of a cell, varies from 3 to 30 micron. That is 0.0003 0.003 millimeter to 0.03 millimeters. Millimeter, just imagine the small gaps in the ruler you use. It's that small. Now you can see here a picture of a bacteria cell, a single cellular organism, bacteria, and it is considered to be the smallest cell. It is considered to be a smallest cell. And this size of this bacteria varies from 0.2 to 0.5 micron. That is 0.0002 millimeter to 0.0005 millimeter. You can imagine how small it is. How is it possible for human eye to see it without microscope? And within a human being, inside the body of a human being, in a human being, the smallest cell is the red blood cell. Okay, it's a red blood cell. That is the smallest cell in the human beings, and bacteria are generally the smallest. Overall, it's the smallest cell, and within a body of a human being, smallest cell is the red blood cell. And you know, students, eggs are also cells. Eggs are basically cells. We all came from eggs in the womb of our mother. There we started our life with one single cell called zygote. We all started our life with one single cell in our mother's womb. Okay, so every egg is a cell. And we can see the picture of an ostrich egg here. Ostrich, this is an ostrich egg. You can see how big an ostrich egg as compared to the egg of a hen. This is a hen's egg, and this big one is an ostrich egg. So it has been seen that the size of a hen's egg is up to 6 centimeters. And in case of an ostrich egg, it is up to 23 centimeters. So you can see, as compared to a bacteria cell, which is 0.2 micron to 0.5 micron, this is so easily seen through our naked eye without a microscope. We all do not need a microscope to see a egg that we eat, hen's egg. Then it has been seen that a cell can be as long as 3 meters. 3 meters. Just imagine how big it is. 3 meters, like, if you consider your elbow, it can be of 3 elbows of your size. That long a cell can be. So in elephant nerve cells, we find such long cells. Okay. So next we move on to the number, cell number. As I said, cells are of two types: unicellular organisms, unicellular, oh I got here spelling wrong, unicellular organism and multicellular organisms. Now let's see what are these individually. Unicellular organisms are those organisms that are single celled, okay, that are made up of single celled organisms, that are made up of single cell are known as unicellular organisms. Okay, they are known as unicellular organisms. Now let's take a look of few examples of unicellular organisms. First we have here the picture of a bacteria. Here we have the picture of first single celled organism, a very small one, the smallest one considered to be bacteria. Then we have got here the picture of Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas, green algae. Next here we have got the picture of slipper-shaped paramecium. Spellings are a little difficult. Students, please learn them. And then finally, I have taught you about amoeba, which in a lifetime can take so many shapes. Only microorganism, unicellular organism that can take multiple shapes in a single lifetime, amoeba. So these are the few examples with spellings you will have to remember of unicellular organisms. Okay. Next we move on to what are multicellular organisms. Organisms that are made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. Please add this word organisms. That's why I kept it empty, so that while teaching I can tell you. Organisms. And let's take a look of multicellular organisms example. There are many multicellular organisms we can see around. I've given just two pictures, one of rose plant, another of fish. Apart from this, you have various multicellular organisms, like in plants. Among plants you have mango, you have got wheat, you have got rice, you have got other crops, everything. Okay. And among animals you have got Insects, let's start from small. Insects like butterflies, ants and all. Then we have got fishes, as I've given the picture. Then we have got birds. Yes, and the most important, we the human beings. So students, these are the few examples of multicellular organism. You can use other names from this apart from this. Okay. Now, it has been seen that in human body, it has been seen that the cells in human body have various lifespan. That's why, for example, you take the skin cell. Okay, the skin cell. After a few days, you will see your skin gets dry and you peel off the skins. It peels off. So what happens? The cells of the skin, they die and you peel it off. So they say they have got a lifespan, and that also depends on where the cell is present and what function is it providing in our body. Now, you please go through a few examples given in your book about the lifespan of the cells. Like a cell can live from a few days to years. Like in digestive tracts, certain cells are there, they live only for a few days. Whereas in the same digestive tract, there are cells that can live up to 6 weeks. And in the cells of our pancreas, that lives up to a year. So please remember about the certain cells of digestive system that can live up to few days, and certain can live up to 6 weeks. Okay, maximum. And there are cells of pancreas that can live up to 1 year. So these are the few things you need to remember. All right. So after this, please read the text once, the diversity of cells, shape, size and numbers, and then solve the questions which I have given. And today I'm not giving you any activity, just do the answers and send it to me by 7:30. All right.